Hey everybody, it's Cheryl from Cheryl's Creations. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and I've got a new thing to show today. So I have Chase from the Paw Patrol gang, and now this is a set of patterns that at one time I saw on Etsy as a group, and you could get all of the characters, and then it kind of went away. But I found them again on Ravelry, and so I bought the whole set. And what they've done is they've lumped them like two together. This first one with Chase, and these are by, oh please don't make me say the name. I'll show it to you, but it has an Etsy site. It's ambercraftstore.etsy.com. But there's I'm going to turn this around. Hopefully I don't lose the page. Hopefully you can read that. That is where I think you can also buy the pattern, but I found them on Ravelry. So this is the picture that they show. Now the one I did does not have the star medallion on the neck. I mean, we're in kind of a rush. The grandson is here in this part of the state, and so we were having trouble figuring out how to do it, whether that medallion should be crocheted. I did buy some, they're not plastic, they're acrylic shapes that my daughter was going to try and put download off of her Cricut, either a sticker or whatever, and try and match that. And then I decided it just wasn't necessary, because the one issue, well, let me show him to you and then I'll show you. Look at him. I think he turned out really well. So the one issue I had is his neck is a little wobbly. And the way you make this is you do the head and then you crochet a neck that's about 4 or 5 rows, and you sew it on, and then you sew it to the body. So there really isn't enough there to keep it firm. So after I put the black collar on, okay, I went up several rows and I stitched and I pulled this down, because normally the neck would be just a tad bit higher. But I pulled and sewed the head down closer to the collar to give it a little more strength. It's still wobbly, but not near like it was. This is one of those patterns that when you do it, it says, you know, to change colors, and then you stitch around and you change colors. And I just kind of carried mine around because I knew I had plenty of both colors. But as I was stitching back here, about every 2 or 3, I would grab that tan color and put it behind and kind of stitch it together, so I didn't have all of these strings hanging on the inside. So that's what I did with that. So this part of the head is one piece, the nose or the snout is one piece, the black nose is one piece, the ears, the hat. Now this piece, the brim of the hat, if I do another one, I'm going to do different, because the instructions say to crochet on top of the forehead and do a surface stitch and then do your rows. Well, when I started where they said to start, my brim is a little off center, you know, just by 1 or 2. So I think the next time I do it, the brim of the hat, I will probably just make the brim and attach it to the hat, then attach the hat to the body. Okay. Ears were not difficult. They're actually a 2-piece ear. You do the front and you do the back, and then you stitch around them to give them your ear. Your body is a piece. The bottom of his jacket is another piece that you just crocheted about 2 rows and then you stitch it on. Okay. I'm sure there's a way, if you wanted, you could come down to the last row of blue, or sew and do a back loop only, and then come back and attach it so you don't have to sew it. So that's a good possibility. Tail was real easy. The feet and legs, the feet are one part, and they look like a little muffin when you get them. I'll see if I can pull up, let's see if I have the picture in the, let me show you some of the pictures in the pattern. This is the pictures of, you know, how the face is forming and putting on the nose. Now they talk about some face sculpting, which I didn't do, and I think it looks perfect without it. There's a picture on how they want the mouth to look, because you inset that dark brown and then you kind of surface stitch part way around it. Let's see. Let me go down. This is, I mean, they give you a good picture if you're one that does face sculpting. They do a really good job of showing you where to sculpt. I'll talk about the eyes in a minute. There's the ears, the body. I'm looking for the feet. Okay, so you do the feet, and they look like a little puff, and then you come around and you stitch. You do surface stitching to create the ankle, or where the foot connects to the leg, and then you go on up. You know, if you don't want to do it that way, I'm sure, I mean, I'd have to play with it a little bit, but I'm sure that there's a way to not have to do the surface stitch, or you could just do a ring, you know, create, I think it's like 18 stitches. Do your 18 stitches and then just start going up and then connect your whole leg to your foot. That would be, because I know not everybody does a lot of surface stitching. The other detail on the feet is to give them 3 toes and just to loop, you know, kind of stitch those in. So the eyes, I debated and debated about how I was going to do these eyes. And I actually crocheted them. The directions say to use number 5 purled cotton, and it's black, brown, and white. And so that's what I did. I went and got the purled cotton, and you start out doing your center, and then you switch to brown, and then you do a partial circle of white. Their instructions said to do 6 stitches in a magic ring for the white spot in his eye. I chose not to do that piece because I thought it looked too big. So I just went in and put a couple of stitches on that part of his eye. Looks like I got them all out of wonk. One's up, one's down, but that's okay. And I hot glued them. I don't normally hot glue stuff because I don't like the stiffness that you feel behind hot glue. But for these, I knew that stitching them on was just not going to look real good. So I did do the hot glue. And I'm going to work with this style of eye because for other things, a stitched eye would look really good instead of like a felt eye, especially for little people that you don't want to have safety eyes. So, and there are patterns out there. I printed off a couple, but there are patterns out there that will teach you how to crochet different shape of eyes, you know, for different types of items. Now, we'll tell you, if you don't like thinness, you know, it's going to be, this was pretty thin stuff. If you're not familiar with purled cotton, it came in a little mini hank, but I had to open it to get to it. But this is a number 5 purled cotton. Okay, and this is black. And I used a 1.65 hook. The pattern said to use a 1.3, but I used a bigger hook for the pattern because the pattern said to use I want to say a 2.75, and I used a 3.5. 3.25 maybe. I used about a 0.5 millimeter or a little bit bigger hook. So instead of a 1.3, I used a 1.65, and I think the size turned out really good. And one of the keys is, because I've looked at lots of pictures of people who do these, and they put the eyes up here. And the key to this, when I placed them, was to put the eyes down closer to the snout. And that's what made it look more like the character on TV. Sometimes they have weird looks, and it's all about eye placement. So, you know, I learned several different things doing this pattern. I absolutely enjoyed it. Putting it together was, I mean, now that I've done one, I think that doing more will not be an issue. I won't do a ton, but I think having each of the main characters at my next market might be a really good thing. And these will not be cheap, let me tell you. But this one is a gift. This one is going to my husband's grandson. He's 2.5. They are here from Phoenix, Arizona, and we will be seeing them tomorrow morning. And so I'm sure that he is going to be ecstatic and will love this. So anyway, again, I don't know what I did with where did I lay my computer? Underneath everything. Again, you know, if I clean off this table, I'd have a place to put things. Oh, it went off on me. I'll show you. I will link what's in here. But again, this is the name of the pattern. And the Chase and Marshall come together in a pattern. And let me pull up my file. Chase and Marshall come together. Sky and Zuma come together along with Chicoletta. Oh, I gotta do a Chicoletta. I didn't realize that was in there. And Rubble and Where are the other ones? I know I have them. Rubble and, what's the other one? Rubble and, well, I lost it here. Chicken trivets. Well, it's in here somewhere. So, but just know that they come 2 or 3 in a set. And so, you'd have to get, like, I think I downloaded 3 or 4 different ones because, like, Everest and the other gray dog with the green jacket come together, and then there's 2 others that come together. So, so that's the pattern makeups for those. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I just love him. So off he will go to the grandson. So thanks for popping in today and taking a look at my hot mess. Don't look at the hot mess behind me. It's always a hot mess. So but yeah, just enjoy your projects. You know, amigurumi is a fun thing, and keep crocheting away. See ya.